This is Visionary New Earth Leaders Podcast with me, Jenny Lyon, empowering visionary healers, entrepreneurs and leaders ready to actualize their fullest potential by expanding their consciousness and embodying 5D leadership and blending cutting-edge energy tools with business innovation and strategy to create impact and raise the world's vibration. I'm your host, Jenny Lyon Rainbow Anderson, and I am a New Earth business mentor, a channel and master healer. I'm also the leader of my own business. I have 23 plus years experience in energy work, mentorship and coaching. I'm a married mother of 2 based outside London in the UK. If you're ready to step into New Earth leadership and 5D consciousness, this is the channel to tune into and learn about embodied New Earth leadership, the power of self, energetic solutions to leadership, spiritual entrepreneurship, and joyful feminine creation. This is the vortex supporting the leaders into the new earth. Welcome back to Visionary New Earth Leaders. Jenny Lyon here. So happy that you are following the episodes. So today we are talking about the 4th archetype, which is the teacher and the martyr. So this is going to be a very interesting episode because I have a 3 myself in my physical talent. I have a 12-3, but the 3 nevertheless. So let's dive into this episode today. I also want to say, if you really love the show and if you really love Visionary New Earth Leaders, I would love for you to leave a review, which means that Google and Spotify and all the places will push up the podcast and show it to more people. And also, if you want to share it to a friend, that will also help to boost this message, to other people who may want to hear it and will learn from this as well. So I would appreciate if you could do that, if you feel called to do that. So let's dive in today. I have been fascinated and absolutely sort of like absorbed by the soul contract work since 2009. So it's been a part of my life now at this point when I'm recording this episode for 15 years. And I really have become the numbers, I feel like I live my life through the lens of these numbers, because not only do I understand leadership and the different numbers in their negative and positive connotations in leadership, but also, this work helped me navigate my business, my family, my life, my love relationships with my dear husband and my children, and everything really, business partners, clients, of course, everything, it penetrates everywhere. So I think if you're interested in this work, I think keep listening and, keep diving into the knowledge of the numbers, become a soul contract practitioner, but also come and have your soul contract reading with myself, and maybe even dive into the soul contract immersion, which is the month program with me, where we do a deep dive into all the aspects of all the aspects of your life and your business and your relationships, if you choose to navigate it. So, because we could actually concentrate just on your relationships, if that's what you wanted, or we can work on your own personal chart, but also business. Or you can have one of each, but go and have a look at the soul contract page, which is on my website. But yeah, I just want to say that, this is, it's changed everything in my life to the positive. So there's so much gold and treasure to find in this work. Okay, so let's dive into number 3. This is a master number, extremely powerful and strong, both in the positive and the negative. The key words are communication, and that is the teacher as well. It's a teacher energy. So we're going to talk about the teacher today, and we're going to talk about the martyr and how the 3, when it teaches from the depth of its soul, from the depth of the soul, how it becomes really powerful and magnetic and transformational for those students that come along, and how a leader can be a teacher, right? Even if you're working with someone and somebody has got a great ability to teach you and to pass over, the knowledge from an embodied place, because that's really what teaching is. It's not just giving you a piece of fact that you will then intellectually remember. It's somebody who's become the work, somebody who has become what they teach. And if you have a leader, or if you are a leader like that, you will have huge impact and transformation capabilities on the people around you. So it's well worth to become the work. It's well worth to do the inner work and become that person, become that teacher from the depth of your soul. So the symbol of the 3 is like a canal. And it's an image of the canal that has a material covering, and then it's got like a thicker outer shell, and then it's got a smaller pattern on the inside. And we can also identify this as like an inner labyrinth where everything goes from the depths, from the inner depths. Everything comes from the inner depths. And that's where knowledge is being assimilated and is being brought forth out into the outer manifestation. So when I say become a teacher, an embodied teacher, it means that you have learned, mastered it, embodied it, become it, and then you teach it in your own words and through your own lens. That's embodied teaching. Okay. So it is also connected with the planet Mars, which has the positive power of protection, initiative, leader, sexuality, and just being really that, have that courage and willpower. So it's a different energy to other power energies in this system. It just comes from a different sort of place. And it can be, in its negative connotation, impatient, willfulness, and improper use of force. And that is also something that the 3 could display. But let's dive into the teacher. So when it comes to leadership, as I said, so we're going to talk about it in its positive connotation first, and then it's like negative connotation, which is the martyr, and somebody who's working from totally different energy than embodied teaching. So the really powerful, strong qualities of the teacher, who's a leader, is somebody who's very good at training and mentoring others. They are excellent in communication, leadership, and initiative, and they turn all the concepts into reality, and they are catalytic to those around them, and they're also good to become rich. It's actually the 3 is from poverty to wealth. So there is a huge desire to also create wealth, from the teaching, so to speak, and do it from that place. You're doing it from service, right? So it's from a nice and beautiful place, isn't it? The other thing is that the 3 is all about the voice, using the voice, vocalization, expression. Look, this podcast, obviously, so I have a 12-3 in my physical talent. So if we look at the 3 on its own, isolate it. I'm now talking on this podcast. I'm teaching you about the soul contract numbers and how they can be used in leadership, because that's my interpretation of how I run my business. I love activating leaders. I love helping people really thrive in their leadership. So my angle in this is leadership, right? So my podcast is a vessel for my teaching voice and knowing what I know and everything that I have here to share with the world in my own unique way, So I'm kind of right in my element, yeah? So this is what I what I love for you to completely embody and do the same, right? Really come into full alignment of the expression of your soul, working through the lens of your soul contract numbers. You can really achieve mastery by doing so. It's also great creativity, which comes from the inner depths, huge, like great intuition, and it's teaching energies of vocalization expression. So the 3, we always say, when I speak to my mentor, it's like a 10,000 quota words per day, especially with a 12 in combination with the 3. It's like, we do not stop talking. The 3 needs to get the words in basically every day, because it is a part of their. So I would have thought it feels like it's like a cathartic release as well. It's like an expression. It's like who they are. So most of my friends have 3s somewhere, and oh my God, we never stop chatting. You know, we talk, chat, ring each other. When we meet up, it never ends. We keep talking, keep chatting. It's like so brilliant. My son has the 3 as well. So like we never stop talking. We never stop conversations. My husband used to have it in his old overlay name, like his old common use name. So we still talk a lot. There's still 3s hanging around there. And I think my daughter also has a 3 somewhere in her overlay. So it's just brilliant. So from a family and personal perspective, we have lots of chats. It's quite nice. And then obviously when I look at my clients and then look at other people that I hang out with, other entrepreneurs, I look at their chart and there's the 3. There's the 3 somewhere. It could be a 21-3, could be a 3 or 12-3, or, all the combinations of the 3, which it makes me laugh really, because it seems like, obviously the numbers attract numbers, right? So I just those little side story there for you. But yes, so it's very much about sharing knowledge of all that has been learned. So I suppose again, as my podcast and other things that I share online, YouTube, Facebook Lives, whatever I'm teaching, comes from that place really. It comes from the teacher energy of the 3, and need to see results of the sharing. This is really actually quite interesting. So when I guide and mentor my clients, I have this deep sense of satisfaction when they achieve the goal. I think a lot of people feel like that when they're coaching and mentoring people, but I really do get a buzz of it. It's not like I have an investment and an attachment to it that if it did not happen, then I'd be really sad. Of course, I wouldn't, I want the best for them. But it's like when I see the result of the teaching, oh my God, it's like worth more than anything else. I don't really, that's actually one of the biggest things that keeps me going, to see the results and transformation in the people. And that I just couldn't. I love it. I just love it. I love it. And I think that's a 3. So if you have a 3 somewhere and you're a teacher and you see that amazing progress and transformation in your clients and the people that you lead with, you just feel amazing. You thrive basically. And then great worthiness to be loved by Mother, Father, God. So so the 3 in its positive aspect is very self-loving, got a lot of self-care, very good with obviously teaching from the depth of the soul, very good leader in this way, and they're also very creative, intuitive. Everything is, around teaching basically. And when it comes to the negative, so this is like, so the positive of a teacher who is a leader somewhere and has this type of energy is fantastic. The qualities are fantastic in leadership, because if we can teach and if we can help those people to embody that next level of knowledge, everything that they want to become, we really have done a good job as a leader, right? We've done a really good job as a leader. So that's the teacher. So let's talk about the martyr. Let's talk about the martyr. So have you ever had a boss or maybe somebody who is a martyr, who feels sorry for themselves and, sort of operates a little bit from victim consciousness as opposed to, growth mindset. I'm sure that you've had that. A martyr is like somebody who's quite failure orientated. They feel unworthy. They're not, they're tight often as well, with money. They don't really appreciate other people's knowledge and things. They're just kind of in this sort of lack energy. And again, if you look at the 3, it's from poverty to wealth. So when you think of poverty, the person will operate from a place of deep lack of self-love, that deep lack of self-worth and self-love. Somebody who is in that state is somebody who's in lack, in lack consciousness. And the great big lesson here is anyone with a 3, whether you have it in talents, karma, positions, goals, soul destiny, wherever that 3 is in your overlay name, self-love is the key to everything. Self-love, self-care, self-worth, self-preservation, deep self-love. And what I mean with that, I'm going to say this actually before we talk about the martyr, because I think it's such an important piece. With somebody so I have a 12-3 in my physical talent, which means, well, Jenny, do you really have a negative, connotation of that then? Yes. There was a deep sense of lack of self-worth, that I wasn't worthy, that I even couldn't create, success, wealth. It was like, this place of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, not feeling like I could receive, feeling I had to work so hard to achieve anything with hardly no results. That's a lack energy. I don't feel like I was in victim consciousness ever. I'm not saying that to just say that. I just don't feel like I was. But I did feel like I had to work so hard. I undercharged for my services originally. I felt like I had to work, it's like a workaholic energy as well, the 3. So it would work itself to the bone and then like burn out and then just like, no, this is just wrong energy. So lack orientated. The more I work, the more I earn. No, not really. The more you work, you burn out. So I had those things. I undercharged. I worked too hard. I didn't reach for the heights. I didn't think that I was worthy to work with high ticket clients, all sorts. Now I have a very fair exchange of how I do business with people, and I think I've come into the true worth of my 12-3, the true worth of my 3, in sense of that I just feel really good about, like, there's not this sort of weird attachment around money anymore. It used to be, I used to have a really weird attachment around money and feeling also like, what's the word? Scared, around not feeling safe, around money. And, yes, I still work on that, but it's like the big chunk has been transformed and it feels great. It feels like I'm always worthy to receive. I have great boundaries and great communication actually around what I need and what's required for me to feel good and fill my own cup up and not put others first, because I am still a service soul with my 10-1s. So it's like, I really easily go into that sort of, I serve others. I forgot about myself. That is still a pattern, but I'm really good at setting boundaries, and I'm really good at, not just setting boundaries, just putting myself first, basically, and make sure that my cup is full. That if I do anything with my clients, make sure my cup is full. If I do anything for my children and my husband, my family, my cup is full. I make sure my cup is full. And that's self-love, that's self-worth, self-love. So I just want to say that before we go into the martyr. So the martyr is also, like I said earlier, impatient, willfulness, It can be very sort of very stuck. You know, I have people that I know from the past and have had encounters with people really stuck, if you like, in their threes. It's like they don't hear what you say, because this is also about the right ear. So if they're not, you have to speak into their right ear, but basically they do not hear what you say, and they do not assimilate the information and consider it what you've said and then make a judgment on it. They just dismiss it. And that's not particularly maybe a martyr, but it's a leader who can't take constructive criticism, or are not open, with communication, to listen to what their team is saying maybe, or just kind of sort of like a little bit just stuck in their ways of how they want to do things. And that is also part of the three, It's like it takes a long time sometimes to break through into the making the three hear what you're really saying. So if you work in a team and you have a martyr or somebody who's stuck in their threes, who is your manager or leader or something, and it's like you're trying to communicate what you think is the next good idea or to move something forward, and they kind of just coming back to you with some sort of BS, basically responding to what you're saying, but still not listening. It is so frustrating. I have a feeling I have something going on like that with one. I'm not going to go into details, but it's a private matter, but it's somebody I have to deal with in terms of my son's schooling. And I just think of this person, and I bet she has threes like that. Because like whatever I say, it doesn't penetrate, and it could be as sharp and clear and on point as it possibly could be, and yet some BS comes back and you're being pushed away. That's a stuck three. Not necessarily martyr, but it is a three that is stuck. So if you've had that and you can't get through to people, they probably have a karmic three somewhere, spiritual or physical karmic three, and they're just not prepared to listen. And that's a very annoying leadership quality, right? So we don't want to be like that. We want to be very open to constructive criticism and cooperate as a team, being making sure other people are heard, and you hear what they're saying and you take it seriously, sort of thing, and listen to what they have to say and connect deeply, with the emotions of it. The three is also emotionally disconnected. That means that often they are so frozen emotionally that they can't access the deeper feeling and sense and the sort of the feeling that people put into something. They can't really access that. Therefore, they are more in their head and sort of mental and just sort of dismiss or come back with some BS. And you then have not been heard. And it's their own incapability to connect with the depths of their inner deep world and emotions. So that is quite complicated, but it can be sorted out, So let's just talk about the martyrs. So they feel deep sense of unworthiness. There are huge lessons around wealth and poverty. So they may have worked themselves up to the top, or like really work really hard by just maybe making even some financial wrong decisions. They may have accumulated a lot of debt. And maybe they have, used other people to get to where they are. Things like that. Because they have this lesson around poverty and wealth. There will be imbalances in their ego expression. I think that goes under to what I just said there, where they kind of dismissed information. They've heard it, but they haven't emotionally, they haven't sort of absorbed it. They haven't absorbed it, and then they just dismiss it. Yeah, it's so annoying. It makes me actually almost feel annoyed when I'm talking about it. Because that is the most frustrating. It's so frustrating. The insecurities leading to the refusal to recognize the work of others. So I have seen this in coaching and in the online business, where a 3 will be like somebody who's stuck in their 3 will. It's almost like, yes, they will invest in themselves, but they may make a very foolish financial investment, thinking they would get to a result without doing the deep inner work. So they will invest in a high ticket program to secure wealth, because they want to create wealth, and they want to jump the queue to get to that wealth without doing the deep inner work. And then what happens is they invest in that high ticket program, they fail because they didn't do the deep inner work, and it's like a golden ticket object syndrome, right? So they do that, and then they fall back and go, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, that program didn't work, poor me, martyr, yeah? And then when they're presented with an opportunity to really do the deep inner work and to go deep and to complete the transform from a deep and with deep sense of self-love and care, and making the investment by loving themselves, they may actually decline that. Funny, isn't it? So they might say, well, last time it didn't work, and this time, I'm just going to work it out myself. So they go into this like workaholic energy and say, well, I'll just figure out myself. I'll just do this. Let's not be supported, and let's not, take that sort of support and love for myself, and go into workaholic energy, martyr energy. And then they stay stuck. Right? I've seen this so many times. Drop me a comment below if you recognize this and you've seen this in others, because that is just such a frustrating place to be, right? It must be such a frustrating place to be. But so this is also like the failure orientation. So the martyr will be failure orientated. So by default, they will then choose this this failure orientated pathway, instead of deeply loving themselves and surrendering to the support and knowledge and truth of others. Because also a part of their pattern is that they don't see the value in what other people bring to the table. And therefore the ego goes, well, I'll do that. And I stay in my workaholic pattern, and they also have an inability to determine a fair exchange. Right? So they also have an inability to express and share, and an inability to hear and absorb what is being said. Well, I've already said that. So the martyr, if I had to choose, I think I would rather, the martyr is such a hard energy. Like, I really struggle with this on myself. Like, I couldn't, when people are like that, I just find it tremendously difficult. It's just a really difficult energy. But maybe I get presented with that because I have a 12-3 in my talents, which means I'm not saying any of my clients are like this, but often I get people into my life, including family members, clients, and friends, who have 3s in either karmic or goal position, physical, karmic, or goal position, which means that I'm helping them to catalyze, become the teacher, really, and unlock those insecurities and unworthiness patterns, and really help them step into that beautiful light that they're here to shine. So maybe that's why I'm just sharing here from a personal perspective, but I think that's that's what happens a lot. And it's really interesting. My son has a 12-3 in physical karma, which means that I really focus on, when I talk to him, about his worthiness, about appreciating the knowledge of others, because it's one of the things he's often dismissed. It's like, he's on his hand, but he often dismisses sometimes what other people are saying, what they're teaching. Not because he thinks they're bad people or, don't believe them. It's just a pattern, right? So I really try to teach him to say you need to be open to learning. Other people know a lot, and you need to be able to listen to what they're saying so that you can then choose if that's for you or not, because you can still choose what you want to learn and say, okay, well, that's not so interesting. I'm going to learn this instead. So yeah, I'm having that conversation already. So it's just a little bit personal share here. But yeah, so I think, if you have a 3 somewhere, and if you recognize any of these patterns, you can transform them, into like amazing teaching energies, amazing ways of loving yourself, invest in yourself, spend wisely on your growth, listen to your mentors, dive into the journey, of learning. And it's not about being a perpetual student and keep learning and learning. It's about stopping, connecting deeply with your body, feel your emotions and feel what's going on inside of you. Because that's another thing, the thing that the Martyr and the 3 will do in a karmic, position, they'll overcommit to do so much they don't have to stop and feel, which means that then they are masking, they're masking what's their emotions really. So the trick here is to be still, to stop, be still, feel the emotions, really connect deeply with your heart and soul, close your eyes every day at some point and sit with yourself. That's my advice for the 3. That's a good start. And I love talking about these numbers. I just love it so much. So if you are really keen to step into teacher leading energies and unlock your 3 fully, my work 100% is for you. I have 3s in my physical talent, which means that I can really help you unlock your 3s anywhere they are, basically. And we can have a fantastic ride together where we, really step into these beautiful teaching energies, because it's master, it's really a master number. It's a master energy. And I love it. I love it so much. Okay. I think that's all for today. Powerful, catalytic teacher. That's a leadership quality that cannot be, denied, right? So if you have any questions, you can always message me. You can email me. I'll also invite you to go and have a look at the soul contract page, book your soul contract reading, and start stepping into this powerful work. How it actually would work, if you're interested to look, is if you had a soul contract reading first, that means that we will unpick and unpack everything around your soul contract. And if you want to focus on leadership, leadership focus on it, we can absolutely do that. What I find in the sessions is that we very divinely guided by spirit, obviously, and the readings often become so deep and touching that they will leave you with, a sense of, like, you will remember it for the rest of your life. It's like it leaves you with a deep, deep sense of, it's not even an activation, it's more like a deep sense of like massive aha moment that you will never, never forget. So I recommend you to come and join me. Next time we're talking about something else, but you'll have to wait and see. So I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves, and I'll send you lots of love, and enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week.
Thank you for listening to Jenny Lyon's Visionary New Earth Leaders podcast. If you're ready to rewire your subconscious mind, clear your programming and collective conditioning, transform your trauma into trust, and step into your soul's calling and true leadership, or if you're ready to unlock your fullest potential through activating your light body and expand your consciousness exponentially, detangle and clear your past life karma, and Akashic Records and setting up for success, launch your online spiritual business, and so much more, then go to jennylyon.love. And if you're receiving value from the show, I would love if you would share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review. Also, you can join me in one of my live free trainings, and you can find it right on the website, as well as in the link in my bio across all social media. I am Jenny Lyon across all platforms. I wish you a blessed day, and may you live your most authentic self.